Even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr.
Trust, me taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog with your leash. Where's the love in the streets? Got my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cutscene, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. For that, they don't know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only cover the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous. You know what's up? You know what's up? You don't pretend, you don't lie, you don't be gang. You know what's up?
We going crazy, we at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get swayzy. I just got off of the jet and I cry. I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Sharek, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Ushu Banton, I hop in the Bama, the world is mine. I'm Tony Montana, I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, what a drums at?
It's alright, man.
Can you go to court? Get it up.
Cool. I be going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read a nigga hook, don't find it. Say a lot of things and never catch like sign it. Zone, I'm gone. When I'm in my zone and get it going Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, nah, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one kind of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mine. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one kind of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the lead, but you ain't hooping around and tear out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, only thing you did was veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I say it all. I just stay cool, acting like it wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I'm ready. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted on my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating this a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucks and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Throwing, Jones. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Jones. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 19-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. Not sure exactly what he saw that made him decide to hand it off, but a great decision and a fantastic run.
From our vantage point, what he saw was a defense that got out of its lanes, got out of its gaps, and they were pretty much running to the quarterback, viewing him as the bigger threat. And look at that wide open space. And he rumbled for big-time yardage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They run for the first time with Ty Chandler. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff to Chandler. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Cousins. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll run with Cook. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. They'll give it to him again. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year, number 8 overall. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run again with Breida. And some room to work. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Jones' throw here pulled in by Galladay. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And the first play will be a field goal try. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Gano's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That was pretty nice to watch as he matched the route with the receiver and stayed right there, stuck to him like glue, almost hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, helped force the incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. It quickly to Thielen here. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Cousins now to throw on first down.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings at 9-5 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing, Cousins. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30. 19 yards that time for number 19.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And some room to roam now. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively. They're on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Another carry now for Madison. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Darnay Holmes now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards that time for number 19. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now a give coming right is Breida. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 9, Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3 because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 8. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st and 10, Jones. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Jones. And that is caught downfield by Beckham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Again, it's OBJ, back-to-back catches. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, 36 yards. And the Giants get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point try good by Gano, and it makes the score 21-10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man complete. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Cousins now. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
On second down, it's Cook again.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, they run with Madison. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Balaj. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He completes it to Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run it with Balaj. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves them with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run here with Balaj. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Jones now throwing on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Big play from a big man. Kayvon Thibodeau off the edge and dropping him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Chandler.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On the slant, DeAndre Hopkins. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Madison running right. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Second and 11 now.
Now Cook running right. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set them up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Breida. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And I don't know that that It's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Balaj. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Room here to run. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Giants. Matt Breida, 71 yards. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Eluding the pressure right.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here's a handoff left side to Breida. And some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
166 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
The Giants on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Jones to Galladay there for a Giant first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Milage. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. He had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So the false start will back them up 5.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a give coming right is Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. Well, that's one part of the equation, puts him back within one score, but I'd be surprised if we don't see an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, partner. They've still got the 2 timeouts, but without that 3rd one, they can bleed a lot more clock on you. So how confident are you that the defense can hold them deep? I think you're exactly right. I'd line up and play for the onside kick here.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Another first down there as this one goes for 25. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
To the 27-yard line.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. How about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, their playoff